I just found a match and went to the bathroom. Now I'm losing gold. What do I pick? What do I pick? My team is yelling at me. Oh my god. Oh, I know. I'll pick this. My lone druid's not that bad, is it?
The cycle
Oh.
shall be complete.
I'm starting this series because drafting is one of the most important parts of Dota 2, and there's not a lot of content out there that teaches people how to draft, and I'm gonna keep it 100. The average player is not very good at drafting. Like, I'm serious. Every day I'm impressed with beautiful drafts that both have no damage and no stun. Well, hopefully over the course of the series we can kind of learn the basics of drafting and ensure that we only lose games because we're bad and not because our heroes are bad. For the sake of simplicity, most of the early videos in the series will focus on having the last pick, just because that's when you have the most information about the draft. And a lot of the time, the last hero picked has like a huge impact on the game. And you probably already saw the title, but this video is focusing on counterpicking and drafting so you can win a 1v1. Step 1 is identifying the weaknesses of the hero. Let's take a random mid laner like Viper. What kind of hero is it? Well, it's a lane bully that likes to harass the enemy and gain an advantage by zoning. So what kind of weak points could we identify about Viper? Well, number 1, he is generally pretty slow and doesn't like to move around much. Number 2, he relies on his right click as a main source of outputting damage. And number 3, he relies heavily on dominating the lane to build up his gold and XP. Now that we know some of this little snake's weaknesses, we can start to think of some heroes that can abuse one or more of these weaknesses. Step 2 is picking the right hero. Looking at weakness number 1, Viper would not be able to run around the map and chase down heroes reliably. So a hero like Tinker, being able to TP from lane to lane with virtually no cooldown, would be able to abuse this weakness. Looking at weakness number 2, Viper needs to right click and spam Q to deal lots of harass. So a hero like Wind Ranger, who can evade all of his attacks, could abuse this weakness. Let's say we find a hero like Lina. Lina's a hero that as she gets more levels, she likes to nuke the creep wave and push it out, and then retreat to the jungle. Because of this, she will be constantly ping-ponging from lane to jungle. She will spend less and less time in the lane as time goes on, and farming the lane as well as jungle will help her almost double her farm. So just by how this hero naturally plays, it abuses the 3 weaknesses of Viper that we identified. Now, there will always be other parts of a hero to consider, like Viper with his passive naturally has higher magic resistance, so it may be hard for Alina building magic damage to counter him after the lane, but we'll save those types of discussions for later videos. Right now we've identified weaknesses that Viper has in the lane, and also how Lina could potentially abuse these weaknesses. The key word here is potential. Step 3, you need to have a game plan. Now imagine this scenario. You pick Ember Spirit, the enemy picks Viper, you start to cry and consider uninstalling, but you realize during the lane that he's not harassing you. He hasn't even clicked on you once. You're not even sure if he has Q skilled. Sure, on paper, Viper can counter Ember Spirit in lane, but if the Viper doesn't know the strengths of his hero and doesn't have a game plan to stomp Ember in lane, then the Ember can get a free game. Picking the right hero to counterpick means nothing if you do not follow a game plan. This is the most important part because getting better at Dota is all about pushing heroes to their limits and maximizing potential. So using what we've learned, let's see how the laning stage should look if you do get the chance for a last pick counterpick. You're in the draft. Your opponent picks Viper. You assume he's going mid. You identify the weaknesses of the hero, and you decide, I'll pick Lina. Here's where you come up with the game plan. Something like I'm going to lane normally for a bit, go 3-1-1 skill build. By the time Viper has 3 points in queue, I'm going to switch to ping ponging between the lane and the jungle. At level 5, I should have myself a nighttime ward, some clarities, and try to be stacking the camps each minute to get those dollar bills. And congratulations, you've learned how to abuse last pick. Now you can go learn some nasty heroes like Meepo and Huskar. More importantly, you've learned how to counter a hero conceptually, so you can repeat the process for more heroes you see. And if you need more help, go check out the How to Counter series. Thanks for watching. I'm really trying to pump out videos now, so like and subscribe, comment any feedback. Peace.